Hello. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays with Training Faith. If you already don't know, I'm Philia, and this is lovely, yummy. How are you guys? Who's in the house? We want to know. We want to know where we at, because you know me, I don't like the mouse. Okay. What do you put on
Sorry,
my
I'm just doing my hair just now. Give me 1 second.
So, who's in the house today? We would like to know. Hey guys. Okay, well, how was your day? How are you guys doing so far? Today has been really hectic. There's just so much going on, so many loose ends to tie. Um, I had my African wedding on Friday that passed, and it was a lot, but it was good. I think they have it like a traditional nikah ceremony where you have an imam who is a Muslim priest, and they come and they basically ask questions and represent the groom as well as represent, and then another side represents the bride side. So they're there to vouch for the groom, to say, why the groom is so special, and then they do the same thing for the bride. So we had a gourd, which is called a calabash, and in the calabash, it's supposed to be needle and thread, which represents or a symbol of mending or repair, because marriage is not perfect, relationships are not perfect. There's supposed to be honey for the sweetness of life. There's supposed to be salt and pepper because of the graininess and the grit of marriage. Obviously an envelope, nice large chunk, and so much more. So it was really nice, and we had a couple of incidents where some of the things in the calabash were either taken out or left behind. So it was just like a lot. And I had a family member who didn't know that's what was going on. So she kept saying, we have to check. No, this is missing. We have to go back. And it was like, okay, first of all, people are hungry. Let's just leave it alone and say everything is good. It's just, that's how you know when it comes to production, so much is going on in the back that people don't know. But it was actually pretty funny. And she didn't know what was happening. And she kept refusing the calabash. And at one point, my aunt was like, we're taking it as is. So I think even the imam at one point mentioned that everything, okay, even though they didn't check, it seems like they're accepting the proposal. So it was actually kind of funny. But in the end, a lot of people appreciated it. So, coming from the side where you're the one sitting and waiting and having to not knowing what to do, I think sometimes gives the anxiety that everybody else is feeling that. But for the most part, we got positive reviews. And I just want to thank my sister Yemi. She was holding down the fort. Africans were fighting with her with spoons and forks and knives. And, sometimes they could be really rough. They mean well, but sometimes they just come across as very like aggressive, and that does not work well with my sister here. So I was hearing some stuff that people were doing, and I'm just like really grateful that they look at the bigger picture and we're like, okay, we're here for our sister Philia. We're gonna keep calm, stay calm, and keep the fort. So I do appreciate you. Thank you, Yemi.
It was a wonderful evening. Honestly, it was just really lovely. It was beautiful. Yeah, I really don't have any. I actually don't have anything like like even what Philly is saying, like that to me, I don't even know if that's anything.
A thing. Yeah, it wasn't a thing. I made it a thing because I was
feel,
nitpicking at things, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everything went really well. It was a beautiful location. It was a lot of people. There was plenty of food, which is always my fear with African events, that there's never enough food. There was so much food. Like we were telling people they can take a pan. Like you can make your to-go plate in a pan. So it was a really nice and enjoyable event. And and I think a lot of people were just really supportive and very happy to see this for Philia. And it's always interesting when you're mixing cultures, because while Philia is West African, Mr. Rogers is Caribbean and American. Yes. Caribbean and American. So I don't know if he's ever been to a traditional wedding. Yes, but like for them, it could just be like just sitting around. Right. But what's good is that you have someone explaining all of the symbolism, which helps. And and it's part of their culture as well. It's just about like maybe a culture that has been stolen or lost over time. That's so true. They get to participate in their history. Yeah, so. It was really good.
And you're right. Because they didn't know it, I think for them it was just interesting to just see how the dynamics work. And it was like, wow, so is that the way Africans get married? They kept thinking that. And then they said, you guys don't jump the broom. I said, well, the broom thing didn't really stem from Africa. That was something that they, created as a symbol of marriage when, the slaves were not allowed to practice certain ceremonies. But, all of it was just really rich, and we're just appreciative of all the love and support. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Unfortunately, it seems like our chat is not working. I'm not sure what happened. And I think if I refresh, it's gonna log us off. Yeah, it's gonna log us off. So if you guys want the chat on, text us and let us know. Right. We'll like close out and start again. Right. Just let us know if we should like restart reboot right. so that we can get the chat going. Because for some reason it's not showing up. It's just having the twirly sign. Anyway, it's Wisdom Wednesday, and on Wisdom Wednesday, Phillia and I love to check in with you and talk about our last 2 podcast episodes for Treading Faith. We're coming pretty close to the end of our spiritual no, it's not even spiritual battles. It feels like it's spiritual. It feels like it's spiritual. It's
clearing the path.
Yeah, clearing the path. So we're breaking chains, we're breaking strongholds, breaking generational curses. That is the theme of our season. And we're pretty close to the end. I think we probably have maybe like 3 more. 3 more, maybe 3 more. That's correct. Yeah, 3 more episodes. And then lovely Phillia will legally get married. And she'll go on her honeymoon, and when she comes back, we're gonna go on a fast. Right. And so we're looking forward to that. So just to let you know what's coming up is that after we finish the season, we're going to do I think it's a 21-day fast. That's 21-day breaking curses fast. So
it will be starting maybe June 1st. All the way to the 21st. I believe that's what we have slotted. Things can change, but we'll talk further about it to confirm.
That's you probably wrote it in the calendar. I just don't have it in front of me. So if Phillia says it's the first, it's probably the first. So I'm actually really, really looking forward to that. I think like when I'm super dedicated to the fast, I do hear from God, and it's a great time for all of us to be in tune with God, have that time that we're taking, not just talking at God, but listening for God's voice. Correct. And I think every time we do a fast in this group, it's just really, really good. I think the last fast, I kind of fell off towards the end. Yeah.
And that was a 40-day one, right?
That was a 40-day fast, and it was a wilderness fast. And it's so crazy because I really felt like I was in the wilderness. Seriously. I was going through like an emotional time. Right. And so I was personally struggling while reading about a struggle in the wilderness. Yeah. It's crazy because you would think that would motivate me to like stick it to the end, but sometimes the stress and pressures of the world get you, but we all want to have the upper hand. We do not want Satan to win the battle. We do not want to give up on God. Don't give up on God, because he won't give up on you. He's able.
He is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
We gotta do the worship music. Yeah. I think like when we do our fast, like we have worship music. Like honestly, you should, if you've never done a fast before, you should try a fast. But if you just want to be in a close community of spending time with God, you should definitely join our fast. Yeah. It is definitely very hyper focused. Right. And if you are doing all the things that you need to do, it is a spiritual awakening for you. It is a spiritual change. And right now, when we're breaking chains, because we're trying to clear our path forward, right. We're trying to walk in our purpose, live in our purpose, align with God, hear from God. We need to clear our path. Like we all talk about the things that we want and desire in this life, but sometimes we're in our own way, or sometimes there's things that are blocking our blessings, right. And we just need to break them, because we cannot fully walk into our purpose and step into who God calls us to be if we are held by the bondage of strongholds or generational curses. So that's why we're going to break these curses. But it is very targeted. I don't want to call it intense, but you can be as intense as you want to be. Right. But there's sermons that we're posting, and this is like intimate. So we're in a group chat. Right. We're posting sermons. We're posting blogs, messages, doing the daily devotionals. Yeah. We're going to be doing live prayers. Right. Like we post worship music. Like we spend time curating this atmosphere for all of us to be in a deep worship experience, or a deep meditation experience, or however you want to call it. Whatever it is, you're in this deep space with God. And there's nothing like it. Honestly, if you really are dedicated to it,
delve in, you will get the rewards. And what we are looking for, our focus would be being able to have discernment from God and figuring out what that is. So, during this fast, some people become more in tune, because that walk, that journey is really personal. And that's what we would want for you. Yeah. So if you haven't done it, definitely try it. And if you have, let's keep it up.
And speaking of walks, we are starting our faith walks. We're gonna have our first faith walk this weekend, weather permitting. I think like I heard it was like supposed to rain every day this week except for Sunday.
Right, Sunday, yes, and I think Saturdays. I think the chance is a little on the lower end, but I think usually we'll send a message out around 7:30, 8 o'clock if it looks like it's not going to clear up. But I mean, I'm still looking forward to the walk either way. So
this will be our first faith walk of the year. Right. And if you haven't done it and you are able to meet us, I think we meet at like 9:30 a.m. at Shirley Chisholm Park. If you're able to meet us, honestly, it's a great walk. It's great views. It's peaceful. And you guys have fellowship with the people around you. Like you never know, like while you get to be vulnerable with people that you may not have contact with. And I think like, especially after COVID, like meeting new people, having deeper conversations, all of those things, I feel like we're kind of lost. Right. Like our social skills were a little bit off as well. That's because everybody's just now used to being indoors, staying on the phones. Right. So being outside in nature and communing with people personally is
really, it's invigorating. It's so different and so good.
Yeah, it's invigorating. It's the dog. It energizes your soul. Right. Okay. So that's I guess we did our announcements up front.
We did. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. So our last two episodes was a part 1 and part 2, and we were talking about fear. And the Bible says, I think it's in James. I shouldn't make that face. Immortalize it. It's James. I want to say chapter 2, but I don't want to lie. I always do this at work. I'd be like, I gotta look it up because I don't want to lie. Oh, it's Timothy. 2 Timothy 1:7. God has not given us a spirit
Spirit
of
of
fear,
fear.
but a power, love, and a sound mind. That's one of the verses that I do meditate on, even though I don't say it always correctly. I'd be like, God didn't give us a spirit of fear. God gave us a spirit, a strong mind. What's happening?
So Omo is texting. She just wanted to know, do we see her messages on YouTube? So I just told her to try again. Just
No,
to see
we
if
can't
something
see
pops
any
up.
messages because the chat is not working.
It's not working, yeah.
But I mean, if we're gonna have to like log off and log back on.
Right.
I think we should.
Okay. We're just
So
gonna do that.
we're gonna end, but we're gonna redo it. We're gonna go right back live, but we just have to end this live in order to get the chat to populate.
Okay.
So that we can be